What do you have in your life to be thankful for? We're going to answer that question ourselves and have a great discussion today on Happy Hour. Welcome back to Happy Hour, our podcast for young adults here at the Cathedral of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus. I'm Rick.
I'm Holly.
I'm Janet.
And we're thankful.
Yes,
we are.
I'm thankful for you guys being on here.
Oh, Rick.
Yeah, that's not one of my top three, but
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't mean to say it like that. I meant it's not one of the three that I'm going to give today.
Rick. Rick is not
I'm
in a
just
thankful mood.
not in a thankful mood, apparently. I should have just said we're just very thankful to have you, ladies. That's what I meant to say. How's that? Is that better?
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
No other qualifications. But we are a thankful people, and we're gonna look at what thankfulness looks like, maybe through the eyes of faith and how we should view life, our faith life as well. But I have asked our co's to bring 3 things that they're thankful for today. So we're going to hear all 3 of those things, as well as my own, that I'm thankful for. But before we get into all that, as Catholics, we have a very special connection to the word Thanksgiving, don't we? Thanksgiving's coming up. It's in less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
But we as Catholics have a very unique connection, right?
Right.
The word Eucharist means Thanksgiving. I don't know how many people actually know that.
Right. So we could celebrate every mass that we go to is a Thanksgiving. That's crazy.
I know, right?
Honestly, I forgot about that. I learned that this summer. You just saying that triggered
Yes.
everything from the summer.
That happens a lot when I talk. I trigger people.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm thankful for that. This is going to be, this is Rick Unleashed today. It's going to be. But what I will say is, in terms of thankfulness, the reason I was even thinking about bringing our 3 in my house at dinner time, we like to always bring out 3 things that we're thankful for that day. So when we get around the dinner table, we're going to hear roughly about 30 things that people are thankful for, because there's a lot of us. There's 10 of us. And if we all bring 3, then we have 30 things to be thankful for. And I think that really, in my mind, helps me to offset some of the bad that happens and some of the negative things that I focus in on sometimes. And it really just trying to have a heart that's grateful and a vision that's grateful. You know, I don't know if you ladies have any of those kind of practices where you're looking to be more grateful or thankful for anything than not. Do you share any of those kind of things? You probably don't do the dinner table thing. I think that's something we came up with a few years ago. But
I think I am trying to practice that more, like gratitude, because I not only see it like reference and like have exposure to it through social media. I see like a lot of posts like, practice gratitude. I'm like, yeah, I need to do that more. So it's always like such a great reminder. But honestly, like I'm just trying to start my prayers off with gratitude instead of like being like, okay, God, this is what I have like on my plate right now. But also I'm so thankful. I feel like if I do the gratitude at the end, I'm just like, but also I'm so thankful. Like I should just start off with it. So that's one of the practices that I'm trying to just be better about. So,
yeah, that's really good.
Right.
I
I really like that idea, because I think it like you're saying, Rick, it like offsets like the negative things that happen in your day. So when we focus on gratitude and thankfulness, that's a really good practice. Yeah.
I just read a stat too that said something to the effect of, for a parent, they have to say 5 positive things just to level out 1 negative thing that they say to their child. So for every 1 negative thing you say, just to break even, you have to say 5 positive things. So if you want to be in the plus column, you actually have to do 6.
Oh.
Right? So just kind of leveling out the playing field is 5, but if you want to make an impact, then you got to do 6 for every 1 negative thing. And I think that might be a good thought for all of us when we encounter people too, because it's not just a parent with their child. That's humanity. That's how we are. I mean, think about when somebody gives you, even if it's constructive criticism, how much do we focus in on that rather than if they started with 3 things that they are just really thankful for you and grateful for you, and then just one thing to be like, and if you could work on this, that'd be great. What do you go away thinking about? Probably the one negative, right? At least for the majority of your thought process. And I think that's probably a natural human inclination to do. I'm betting that's the majority of people, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I think so too. So even just coming up with 3 things, I think is even on the low end of being thankful for the day, but it is a good start.
That's true.
Yeah. I think that even actually came about one time because it was eons ago, but we were running a youth group, and afterwards one of the students came up and said, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "Sure." And she just was speaking about how everything is going wrong in life. Everything. There was not one positive thing. I said, "Okay, Holy Spirit, talk to me." And the Holy Spirit gave me that idea I said, "Okay, here's what I want you to do I'm going to give you a 30-day challenge. And for the next 30 days, every day, find 3 things at the end of the day that you're thankful for and just say them to the Lord." And my thought then was like, okay, so by the end of a month, she's got almost 100 things that she would be thankful for. In this moment, she sees 0, but at the end of the month, she could have almost 100. And I think that's where that kind of thought process came. So that's why we're bringing our things that we're thankful for to the table today.
To the table.
Yes.
To the Thanksgiving table. Huh? No. Okay, I tried. Holly, you seem like a grateful person.
Thank you.
You do. You do. You
She
seem
does.
like,
Yeah.
doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to hear 3 things that you are grateful for.
I have, so disclaimer. The first 2 are like interesting and not typical. The last one's more typical. So I guess, are we going to do 1-1-1?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So my first one actually stemmed from Janet and my conversation this past week, which was really interesting.
We got coffee.
We got coffee. It was lovely. And we got into talking about our testimonies. And given our testimonies, I was thinking about what I'm grateful for, what I'm thankful for. And I would say the first thing I'm grateful for are the hard times, right? Because the hard times are what shape us. The struggle is what shapes us into the people that we are today. And without that struggle, there's no like upward climb, I would say, in perseverance, in just like developing our own character and growing closer to God. So I think that I'm very thankful for all of the struggle areas in my life and all that I've been through. And I think that Janet would say the same in that too, because we were talking about that and how like where we are today versus where we were. And I'm very grateful for that, because I feel like if you encounter adversity in your life, then there's a positive thing you can always take away from it. There's always something grateful in every situation. And that's what God wants to show us. And we have to embrace our crosses in that too.
I like that. In fact, one of my good friends just this morning sent me an Instagram reel about, it was this thing that's like how people react, how Catholics should react to church teaching or something like that. And then it was a scene from A League of Their Own where Tom Hanks is talking because one of his ball players, she was going to quit. And she says, it's too hard. And he said, it's supposed to be hard. The hard is what makes it great.
I love that.
And I was like, I just used that quote yesterday, actually. I love that quote because without the hard, right? Like if it wasn't hard, everybody would just do it. It wouldn't be extraordinary, but the hard is what makes it great, right? So that's great. I love that. Yeah.
It's some grit.
Yes, a little grit. All right, you're up, Janet.
So I think bouncing off of what you said, this is actually my second one, but I'm going to say it first. So I'm already going out of order here. But I think one of the things that I'm very grateful for, like this year in my life, is just like this newfound attitude of just like of manna. I think, so a little background story. This summer was super hard and just like a lot of transition and just like a lot of like anxiety. And it was just like very difficult for some reason. But in the midst of that, like just praying to God and telling him like, hey, like, don't let me drown. Like, I don't want to drown. Like, don't divide me. And like, he gave me like this attitude of like, hey, Janet, can you still trust me? Right. And I was like, well, yeah, of course. But then like, I really just felt like I heard him telling me like, I'm still raining manna from heaven. Like, can you believe me in that? And I was just like, yeah, like I'll believe you in that. And then I just started noticing every single day, like how much he rains manna from heaven. And that just became my newfound attitude, like to have this like newfound joy and like this like thirst for life that like, wow, manna is raining every single day from heaven. And I never want to lose perspective of that. Like, and I haven't, like, despite the fact that like, then like coming here to Knoxville was another transition and there's been new anxieties, like, and just like hardships. I still have this attitude and this perspective like, wow, manna's still here. Manna's still present because manna is daily bread. And he hasn't let me lose that perspective of like, I'm still doing this. Like I'm still raining manna from heaven. I mean, the Israelites got it for what, like 40 years and every single day and on Saturday twice, but then they lost taste for it. And I always tell God, I don't want to lose taste for it. So yeah, like I think he's just giving me like that grace to like always kind of keep that like attitude and that like newfound like joy and like realizing that manna is like every single day. And I think that just comes from like having developed my relationship a lot more with the Holy Spirit. So for that, I'm very thankful.
Love it. You ready?
Yeah. Give it
Ready.
to us.
I'm thankful for diabetes.
Oh,
Okay.
Hot take.
hot takes.
For those that don't know, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I am insulin dependent and struggle every single moment of every single day for staying alive. And it has given me such a different perspective on life. I was diagnosed late, so I was late onset juvenile diabetes, right? So it's almost like I lived a whole life before this, and I could do whatever I want. I could just, kind of eat whatever I want, run around, I didn't have to worry about burning through sugars or getting more insulin or any of those things. And I could just kind of do whatever I wanted. And then when that hit, it was, I didn't really even know kind of really all that much about it. And then learning all these things, what it really, a couple different things. And Janet and I, we spoke about this a while ago though, in terms of mental health, it actually really helped me to see the importance of mental health because I grew up in a generation that's just like, just be quiet and do your job. Just, put up with whatever, do your job, don't complain, move on. And you don't realize how destructive that can be. And so for me, my endocrinologists believe that it was stress induced that killed my pancreas. So taking all of that, just do the job, just do those things. Don't complain about it. Don't talk about it. Just do it and internalize everything is more than likely what destroyed my pancreas. And so knowing that made me put a pause on my own thought process towards mental health and saying, oh my gosh, this is vital for everyone because this can not just psychologically kill you, but it can physically kill you too. So for that, I am super grateful. But I'm also grateful for all the years that I didn't have it. It makes me appreciate all that time, all that life that I lived without it. And I could have had it. I mean, I really could have had it from who knows when. And yet, it also could be much worse. It could have been something even worse. I live in a day and age where it's so controllable, where everything is right at my fingertips, including a pinprick to find out my blood sugar. It's right at my fingertips. But yeah, so my first thing that I'm thankful for is diabetes, which might sound weird to some people, but in Scripture it talks about laying before us blessings or curses. I choose a blessing out of it and not a curse. Holly, you're number 2.
My number 2. Okay. I had a little analogy for this one.
Ooh.
And I think it's the speeding tickets of life, which is interesting. And I think there are a lot of things to be thankful for in these quote unquote speeding tickets of life. By that, I can mean a very legitimate, literal speeding ticket. And I haven't got one. I'm not saying that this happened this past week and this is why I thought about it. But I think this, like, sometimes the painful reminders that turn into lessons are really important. That's kind of what I was thinking of as a speeding ticket. And I'm always in a hurry to do things and like very focused on productivity and working. And sometimes I think God throws me these speeding tickets. Like right now, if you can't tell, my voice is a little sick. Sorry to everyone listening. And I might be sniffling a little bit. But I think that sometimes I get sick a lot, which is very interesting, even though I eat healthy and everything. So I'm wondering if sometimes I'm like, God, you know, allows certain things to happen in order to obtain a greater good. So like being sick, it obviously slows me down a lot, and it prevents me from working as much. And I think sometimes being sick is better than not focusing on God, because I think it allows me to focus on God and my area of need at that moment. So I always think of this song by Alabama, the band, "I'm in a Hurry to Get Things Done" song. And I always sing that in my head. If I realize and I stop, I'm like, God's trying to slow me down to try to make sure that I'm listening to him. So I just think that the speeding tickets could be many things. It could be literal. It could be like becoming sick, or like something pops up in your life. As I like to say, heavenly appointments that pop up in your life that slow you down for a good reason. Has that happened to either of you in the past week? Maybe like a heavenly appointment or the speeding ticket of life that God has given you to slow down.
Sure.
Opportunities to be patient.
1000%.
Being a father gives me many opportunities to be patient. I don't always take full advantage of those opportunities, though, I must say. Yeah, that's a good one, though, Holly. It's also a reminder of our dependence on God, right? We're taught here that we're independent. You're an independent person, and you can, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And all these terrible lies that we're being told. We are built dependent. We are codependent. We are not independent. Not a single one of us. We're built codependent. So I love that. That's really a good thought. I'm gonna look for my speeding ticket. Yeah.
And heavenly appointments. I love both of those analogies. Those are really good.
Agreed.
I would say we're radically dependent on God.
Ooh, I like that one.
Because like I always tell all my friends, I'm like, if he stops thinking about you, even for a second, like you would cease to exist. Like, whoa. So
that's true.
Yeah. Just a little added to what you said. Yeah. Addition.
Radically dependent. I'll have to use that this week.
There you go. Another one for your toolbox.
There it is.
So my next thing that I'm grateful for, this was actually my first one. So like I said, I'm out of order here, but, I think getting into Echo was, I think it's one of the top things I am thankful for this year. And it's because, little background story, y'all don't know this, or I don't know if I've said this before, but I actually applied to get my MFA in creative writing, and I got denied from all my schools. And that was like the most heartbreaking year of my life, like going back home. And like I worked at the seminary, which was so cool, met a lot of cool Catholic people, but like I still very much felt like God was calling me to go back to school. And the thing about Echo was that like I had heard about it before, but didn't really think I was capable of doing it, like because I was like, I'm never going to do this. But it just really came back to my heart, and there's a reason for that. And you know, when I got denied from my grad schools, like I was like, okay, God, I get it. Like you don't want this for me. You're telling me let the ground rest. But I thought let the ground rest meant like just for like a couple weeks, maybe a month. Like no, it took me a whole year to realize what he actually meant. He was like, you need to be still. Like you need to rest. Like let it rest. And I did. And, you know, when I was applying to Echo, like I just left it all in his hands, prayed about it so much, like did put in a lot of work and effort into it. But I was just like, you know, like if this is your will, like you will let it be. And if this is my next good step, you will let it happen. And I let it rest. Like I didn't become anxious or like stressed about it. I was just like, okay, that's it. So yeah, I think getting into Echo made me learn how to truly be still and how to like let the ground rest. And I think that is just like such a beautiful perspective. But also like Echo is like my promised land. Like he definitely parted the Red Sea and like, this is your promised land. And I feel that a lot. So like, I'm so thankful like for my family and my friends too, who supported me and like cheered me on when I was like doing the whole application process and then when I got in. So yeah, Echo, I'm so thankful for you.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. My second one is going to be constructive criticism.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Yeah, very thankful for that, because the reality is, I think we all, I don't know why we all fear the fact that we do stuff wrong, or just don't know some things, right? I don't know why we fear that. And I mean, it's everybody. Everybody is in that boat. But here's the other boat that everybody's in. Everybody's a human. So the facts are that every one of us gets stuff wrong. That's a fact. Another fact is every one of us have blind spots that we don't see, right? And then the other fact is other people can see those blind spots. Okay? So this is what can cause, I don't know, bad feelings towards people. It can cause a lot of anxiety for people, a lot of things. But when we start seeing things through the lens of, if it's constructive criticism, I want to point that out, right? I'm so grateful that I have people in my life that care enough about wanting me to be the best me, that they would share with me, hey, just so you know, this is what I see. You might not be able to see it, but this is what I'm seeing. And there you go. I'm more grateful for that than somebody that just hides that and sweeps that under and never tells me and then holds some kind of resentment because of that towards me. That I'm just not great at processing. But I think I'm getting better and better at, and of course, we're all human, so we all need to take it in the right way too. That's why Paul was always good. When you read his letters, he's like, brothers and sisters. That's how he said, right?
Yeah.
Dear brothers and sisters, you guys are so good at this. You're amazing. There's just some wonderful things that you're doing well. However, right? And so, but it's the build up and then helping. I take it really well that way. But I'm just really thankful for people that would, speak truth into my objective truth into my blind spots and weaknesses. Because the desire is, they really want me to be the best me. It's not for their own edification. It's, we care about you and we want you to do well. So this is what we see. So I'm actually really thankful for that.
I like that.
That's
We need to be better about that.
Me too. I'm not always.
Work on, like,
I'm not always, but I do. When I get it right, I really enjoy a good criticism. Yeah.
wow. A lot of people would not say that.
I
I
know.
wouldn't say that.
I know.
I need to grow in that area for sure. It definitely feels like a very humbling experience.
Mhm.
For sure.
And I actually love being humbled. I do. It's really good. It keeps my ego in check. It keeps me in check, and I need it.
It knocks you down a little.
It's good.
That
Less
was
of
going to
me.
be my third
Oh.
humbling experience.
It's okay. There it is.
Or sins. But I do have, I was going to say maybe sin. I didn't know. I had two competitors for my third. It was,
Sin is your
Sin.
grateful thing?
well, not exactly,
Oh,
but
okay.
the opportunity to grow from our mistakes in sin,
There we go.
more so than yes, because I think that sometimes God gives us a certain cross or a certain sin that we have to specifically work through.
Yes.
Instead of saying I'm grateful for, it's more like the embracing of the cross, not like I'm grateful for sinning, but embracing of the cross that we are given is something. And then I said, part B was my support network. I think it's really important to build a support network. It's like, yes, all my fans. No, I'm just kidding. But I am very grateful for all of those who have been very generous towards me in the times that I couldn't support myself with certain things. And family and friends that have been there through the thick and thin, and the good times, the bad times. I'm very grateful for those that stick it out, that truly stick it out. 'Cause some people waver, I think, in life, and yes, but I'm really grateful for those who have stood by me in the good and the bad times. And that's something that I really value. And that loyalty that comes with that too.
Yeah.
So it's a really beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
Whoa. I love that. All right, y'all. My third thing. This was actually my third thing because 3 is a holy number.
It's true.
And third thing, I think is the best thing here. I am super, super thankful for my nephew, Ezekiel. Immensely so. I think he's changed my life so much. So if my brother and like my family is listening to this, like, just know I am super thankful for our, like, we call, like, I say that he's mi amor, like my love, right? But yeah, like he came at a time, I think, in my life, because he was born in February of this year. And that was during the time that I was just like still resting, right? And letting the ground rest. And when he came, I realized that he was the true, like, I don't know, like, I don't even want to say, like, I don't know how to say this, but like he was, like, I had felt like, okay, like my bones that once were broken can finally dance, and my heart that I thought was like shattered can like finally like rejoice, and like everything about me that I thought was so dimmed out, like can just finally like shine, right? But he was the true reason that I think I saw that and I felt that, like, cause it's life, right? Life being born, and you realize like, wow, like God has loved you so infinitely. And I see that, like, cause I just like, you have grown, like you were a baby and now you're here, and it's like, what? It's so crazy. And like, I think it's just awoken in me, like a huge love. Like, I think my heart has grown more than I thought was capable. And like, it's just so beautiful to see like my brother, like be a father, and like my sister and I becoming aunts, and my parents becoming grandparents. Like, it's definitely changed our family, like in a very beautiful way, like receiving new life. And yeah, I'm just like so thankful for him. And he's just so silly. Like I'm super thankful for Easy Bo Beezy, as his nickname is.
I like that. That's funny. All right. My last thing is going to be, I am thankful for our young adult community, here at the cathedral. It's a special place for young adults that I have not experienced before. I mean, I've worked for the church a long time, almost 3 decades now. And in all that time, I've never been in a spot that just seems so receptive to young adults, and young adults who are so receptive to each other and desiring the good of the other. I just haven't seen it. It's usually a kind of, I'll get mine, you get yours, what me is me, you is you. It's like almost a competitive nature type of thing, and really not wanting anything to do with the relationship aspect of it. But here it's much different. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the secret sauce is to make this happen. But what I do know is we have a lot of young adults who are just engaged with so many different things here at the Cathedral Parish, but also in Knoxville as a whole. And they desire the good of others. I see it time and time again. We have so many things that happen for young adults. I'll just give a couple of examples. We have 2 young adult women's groups that meet every week. We have 2 young adult men's groups that meet every week. We have a Bible study that meets every week. We have Adoramus that meets every week in front of Eucharistic Adoration on Wednesdays, right? We have events that happen all the time. I mean, first of all, there was 6 things that happen every week. Now, and you know, you've got a Bible or a chosen Bible study going on that's 8 weeks straight. You know, I mean, there's just so much, and sometimes you can have too many things. But this is one of those scenarios where everything that's happening is being blessed and embraced, and there's a desire for even more. Right? I mean, service components, trivia night. Right? We have trivia night this Saturday. Yeah. It's a variety of things to engage the whole, and then seeing them desire also to be part of the larger parish community. So it's not just, we're just going to stick to young adult things, but no, we want to be lectors. We want to be Eucharistic ministers. We want to be in the pews with other people. It was so sweet. And it's reciprocated, right? So older people and younger people see that, and it's good for the whole. The other day, Janet and I, we were something, I don't remember. And Lizzie, who's a young adult, was at Mass for like a noon Mass, and she had one of your chosen flyers. It said, you know, join us for the chosen Bible study. And Lizzie had said that there was just a nice older lady that said, you look like a young adult. You should go to this, and handed her, who goes to it, right? Handed her a flyer for the chosen Bible study. So it's this community is affecting not just people who are in that age bracket, but it's affecting the community as a whole. And I really have believed for a long time that the young adults are the key. They really are the key to a healthy parish because they can speak to both ends, right? Older or younger, and I guess all three ends in the in between as well. They're the glue that holds it all together. I really believe that, and I just so honored to witness it. I'm not a young adult anymore, haven't been for a while, but I also can. I know when I see greatness, and I see greatness in our young adults, and I'm so thankful. And you two are part of that, right? I see the greatness in you, the thankfulness for your yes, your fiat, right, to the Lord and to what He wants in your life. So that's 100% my third thing. Yeah, of course, we all have other things that we're grateful for. So if you're listening and we didn't shout out you, it's nothing personal. We're very thankful for you too. We could have probably ended with, and our third thing is all our listeners, but...
Yeah.
That's
it could be our
true.
10th thing. Collaborative.
Oh,
yeah.
So our 10th thing.
10 things.
Yes.
Our 10th thing that we're thankful for is...
Our
listeners.
listeners.
Hey, there it is. I like it. That was almost rehearsed. It wasn't, though.
It
It
actually
wasn't.
wasn't, guys.
We
It
didn't even.
That is funny. Okay, so there's our list of gratitude, our thankfulness. What are you thankful for? If you're listening to this, share what you're thankful for with somebody today and ask them what they're thankful for. Just put it out in front of people. Maybe that's how this all turns around, is we just start seeing what we're grateful for, and then we enter into conversation with it. Try it out. If you live with other people, if you have a family, or if you live with roommates or something, try it out at the dinner table. Just ask, what are you thankful for today? It doesn't have to be 3. It can just simply be 1 or whatever it is. But let's be a people of gratitude, a people who are thankful for all things that come in our purview. All right. Well, yes, we are thankful for you. We hope you're thankful for this podcast. We hope you share it, like it, subscribe, all the things. Anything else you guys want to say?
We love you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you next time on Happy Hour.